The coach. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, an important season is about to begin for Eli Manning. His Giants get a tough test right out of the gate as they take on the defending NFC East champs, the Dallas Cowboys.
We are sandwiched between Fort Worth and Dallas, Texas, and Arlington at the luxurious AT&T Stadium. Today, it's an early season divisional matchup in the NFC East between the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys. This is fielded at the goal line. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback, a multiple-time Pro Bowler. It's, of course, Eli Manning.
I still remember a scouting report that a former Giants GM had on Eli Manning coming out of Mississippi. He simply said he has it. And we always talk about the it factor, which means they're going to play large in big moments, in key situations, and Eli Manning has always had that.
That's going to set him back 5 yards. The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Manning going to hand it off to Barkley. Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Giants. Saquon Barkley, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. We thought they may be a quick strike offense this season. That is lightning quick. Not bad for the first drive of the year.
That has to actually exceed expectations, doesn't it? Because most teams want to be a quick strike offense. They want to score as quickly as possible and run a defense into submission. What they have to understand is, while they got it done there, long way to go. Don't get discouraged if you have to run a few more plays on your next drive.
Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this. Only back to the 20. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's the man who's led the league in rushing twice in 3 seasons. Ezekiel Elliott fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
On 2nd and 9, Prescott. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late. Getting there, and it's 3rd down. Charles already trailing by touchdown early.
Prescott's pass intended for Will Fuller. Incomplete.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup.
Alec Ogletree in on the stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
From the 41, Prescott over the middle, Cooper with it. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. That one good for a first down pickup of 18 yards.
Well, he's looking sharp right from the get-go here. Tough division. They needed this kind of a start. But I think this is part of where scripting comes in. We always hear about the scripting of plays, how they're going to be called. Everyone dress rehearses their script, and right now they're following it to a T.
And for that opening drive, so part of the script still to come, right, partner?
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got a ways to go with that, but you can tell that they worked on the script the entire week in practice, and it's paying off for them.
From the 38. Prescott, he finds Randall Cobb with a completion. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in this paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? It's a pickup of 12. Second play in a row with a 12-yard gain. From the red zone now, Prescott. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Oh, Prescott stripped. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. He's at the 40, past the 20, 10, and he will score. Touchdown, Giants. So this defense clicking early in the year, week one, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Rosas good with the extra point, and it's now 14-0. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go!
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a quick throw as that's complete on the hitch route. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To throw is Prescott. That's into the hands of Gallup over the middle. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before you get a good head of steam going.
And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. Tackle made by Marcus Golden.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Now this one complete on the slant route, and he's got this down to the 35. A gain of 13, it's a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Yeah, this is going to depend on the spot, but I believe he might be a few inches short. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Running with Elliott. Oh, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up. Loose football. And the Giants have it. It's picked up. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And hindsight 2020, I think they probably should have gone for the field goal, right?
The 3 points would look really good right now, but I think what we just saw there, analytics really starting to creep into the game because more and more teams are saying the more you go for it, the better your odds of getting it, the better your odds of scoring 6 points instead of 3. They took a chance there. It just didn't pay off.
Yeah, right here, the anti-analytics guys go thumbs up.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. The second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
So a good pick up there of 20 yards.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs route...
Well, Barkley stripped of the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 2nd and 11 now. Manning gets this out to Saquon Barkley. A gain of 4 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. 4th down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep for the Cowboys, Tavon Austin.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a 1st down. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. The Cowboys looking to get going again in a hurry.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Got to be careful here. They need to move quickly, but it's also 4th. throwing. Prescott. And this is caught. Amari Cooper. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Come on, baby. Let's see what you got. 26.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. He's going to look end zone here for Cooper. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And now it's second down. Here now is second and 10, again from the 41.
31 to Mike.
Final play of the half. Prescott. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down. All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shout.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. B.J. Hill. Credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Coming in to sack him, Dominique Easley.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He sets to fire deep. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
12 yards on the return that time. And it'll be Giant football, first and 10. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly.
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, but it'll be second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback, and when he delivers the ball.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that run.
And he is into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys draw a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
On 1st and 10, here's Manning. Open man right side is Ingram. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11 and a giant first down.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And now the ball comes out. Manning lost it, but fortunately he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. A give to Barkley out of the gun. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
He's got a man, complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd.
You had to figure they'd take a shot downfield on 3rd and long, so the old cliche came into mind right away for me. Who wants it more? You always hear about receivers, you hear about their hands, their moves, their speed. How about the positioning and the desire to go get that one out of the air?
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Working from the gun, Manning. And the Cowboys' pressure gets there this time for the sack. Defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence applied the heat. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Arlington. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. The Giants on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Now a pass hauled in downfield. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That one was hard to fathom. They were in the dime. They had 6 DBs back there. They still lost it.
Great word, because I'm right there with you. I don't understand how they couldn't pick him up. But don't be surprised next week early, there's some extra people in the locker room. Maybe a tryout or 2 for those guys who missed it.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Get your backs to the goal line. I can hear my high school coach right now. This is when force meets force. Got to be physical in order to win this battle.
Yeah, that's where the physicality pays off. A nice job forcing the contact and forcing the incompletion.
Yeah, Coach Ford would have loved that play.
Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
This is a long drive offensively. Wouldn't you hate to end this with just 3 points?
Doesn't it feel like during a ball game you have certain narratives going on and there's certain drives that seem to take on just a bit more importance than others? This feels like one of those, doesn't it? To me, 3 points here, a major letdown. This is the time to go and put 6 on the board.
And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. DeAndre Baker, the first corner chosen in this year's draft, there to make the play defensively. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter about winning.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive.
Okay.
About winning the turnover battle. As a visiting team, as an underdog, you were right. They've done just that, and look where it's gotten them.
It's part of the formula. When you go on the road, as you mentioned, being an underdog, winning the turnover battle is a big key, and this one's playing out in this one.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. NFL quarterbacks work so hard on their mechanics, and they do so much repetition and practice, off-season, the whole deal. They expect it to be autopilot once the games start. That way it eliminates any type of pressure of the game, pressure of people in your face, all of that. That didn't shine through on that throw, though, did it?
No. A little bit of a dangerous pass and off target, too. The Cowboys will go. Prescott. He's got his targets caught. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. But correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
25 yards there on the catch and run.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
That'll be a pickup of 10 as they try to recover from this 10-point deficit.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time, right?
That is caught. It's Cooper for the Cowboy touchdown. Amari Cooper there to make the grab. And the Cowboys have cut it to within a score.
A lot of people might call this backyard football. Sometimes just understanding who you've got out wide and who you're going to throw it to. Give him an opportunity to go up and make a play, even when contested. Looks like that one worked out pretty well. The trust factor, in effect.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And now out come the Giants. I don't want to say that they're completely against the wall here, Charles, but all of a sudden, with the run that they've been on the other sideline, this is down to a 3-point game. They got to be careful.
Not much space from their back to the wall, though. So you're exactly right. They've got to be careful here. But this is where the value of note-taking and recall comes into play. What was working earlier? Why was it working? Can you get those types of matchups again? And can you run those plays that'll get you a little bit more breathing room and a little bit of space?
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. A first down carry for Barkley. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. 2 running plays, each lose a yard. They'll need to do much better now on 3rd and 12. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the clock will stop with just 70 seconds left to go in the game. Here's Riley Dixon now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. So Dak and the Cowboys down 17-14, 65 seconds remaining. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. Now Prescott. This is Cobb with a catch right side. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup. First down now, but that clock rolling. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him. Why?
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in the game. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17.
We go 46. 31's the mic. 31's the mic. Tackles. Here we go. Go to 54. Go to 54. 26.
Prescott to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now. Cooper was the intended target, and it's 3rd down. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Hey, kill.
One last shot now for Prescott. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And with that, our journey begins, Charles. Week 1 in the books. Going to be a great season.
Oh, man, so much to look forward to. Isn't it nice to get a really good game right out of the gate? Preseason behind us. All these games count now, don't they?
Yeah, this is the exciting time with just 1 week gone and plenty of weeks to come. So for the Giants, it wasn't always pretty, but they do eke out the Week 1 victory here by a field goal. And they will head back home.
Ladies and gentlemen,